I've sold my art all over the world. Got a globe. I'm going to start bedazzling it based on where my art sold. I'm going to start with my most recent orders, and the first one is in Wandavik, Australia. And me a year ago, let alone a teenager, I would be ecstatic to know that my artwork is being sold all around the world right now. In fact, I would probably even call myself a liar. But I'm selling ACOs on eBay, and I've really just started popping off when I started talking about it more. I've never done diamond art before, but I thought, what a fun thing to do. How do I know this is... Right now, I'm only selling my artwork on eBay. But one of my goals for 2026 is to start selling artwork more regularly. So I actually already talked to this place in Memphis called Feeling Memphis. They're on Main Street downtown, and they sell art from all kinds of local artists. And I went shopping in there with my sister for her birthday, and I just decided to ask, what would it be like to start selling art with? I talked to the owner, and she loved my artwork. She asked to see more of a portfolio, and I was like, well, I really don't have much of a portfolio. So she asked me to make her some samples of some products and bring them by. The only parameter I have is that it needs to be Memphis themed because she is a Memphis souvenir shop. So I was thinking a lot of Memphis souvenirs look the same. So Memphis is a hometown of jazz, rock and roll. Most things are like in a primary color palette. It's like a thicker, bolder kind of art style. There's not a whole lot of more minimalist or aesthetically pleasing artwork for Memphis. And that's something that I had always looked for whenever I went to places like that, because I would love to have more local artwork, but it just doesn't exist for us right now, unless you go online. But the whole idea is that we want to see it in stores. Next is Norman, Oklahoma. This is basically Oklahoma. I think a lot of my problem with selling art through my early 20s to now, I was always just so overwhelmed by the prospect of dealing with it. Having a full-time job is a lot more secure, a lot more predictable, but you can't grow that much with a full-time job. So I've been really stressed at work lately, and I've really been considering where my priorities lie. If I stay at my job, it's predictable income. It doesn't change a whole lot, but the stress is a lot at my job. Recently, I quit. Ta-da! I ended up finding a job that pays the exact same, but the stress is a lot less. My last job, I was having to work from 50 to 60 hours a week, and it was salaried, so it didn't matter if I worked that many hours. I did not get paid extra for working that many hours. So I found myself a job that pays the same, but it's hourly. They are very strict about the 40 hours a week, so my work-life balance will greatly improve. Gardner, Kansas. We're just gonna guess that it's slightly higher than Oklahoma, which my old job, it really made me believe that I would not find another one like it with the same benefits, with the same pay. It's frankly propaganda. Next, we have Lakeside, California. Boop. For the US, I might have to just do states. I guess for all of them, I should just do states and providences. Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Bloop. What? No. Pennsylvania's gotta be like there. This probably covers all of Pennsylvania. There we go. This is the reason I can't make aesthetic content. I have to make yapper content. Santa Clarita, California. To be honest, I'm not even looking up where these cities are. I'm just kind of putting them on the state. San Francisco, California. California likes me. North Carolina. Bulk of my art is in the US, but I've shipped to the UK, Balkans, and I think China. St. Louis, Missouri. I feel like St. Louis is a lot like Memphis. Not really been often. In fact, I only really went through around the time that I was in Chicago. I don't know, its vibe seems like Memphis-esque. Funny enough, even though I live in Memphis, I'm about to start making Memphis-based art, I have never sold art in Memphis. Well, that's not completely true. I've sold art from Memphis. Diamond art's hard. Grain Valley, Missouri. I'm just kind of yapping, but I do have advice for young artists. It does seem hard to sell your art. It does seem hard to follow your passion. I was in a position where I had to take care of my siblings from a very young age. I've always had to be the responsible member of the family. I come from a messed up home life. I don't want to get too into it, but it's just not good, and I would never recommend growing up the way I grew up. So for me at the time, it just didn't feel like something I could do, and then I became a parent, and it felt more like something I could never do. I really think that even part-time, I could have pursued it more. Now as an adult, I am pursuing it more, and it's so rewarding. It's harder than it's ever been. I have every reason in the world to not do it right now, and I'm choosing to do it anyways. I am reaping the benefits because now I get to bedazzle a globe with where my art has sold. Roanoke, Virginia is my last one for this set of orders. A lot of my art sold in bulk to the same people actually, and I did not even realize that until just now. This week's bedazzled globe. Let's go all the way down under. Hi, friend.